Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. How you doing, guys? What's going on? Please like, subscribe, and share. What are you eating? What time of the day is it? Tell me. Guys, how are you? So it is Friday, March 28th, and good morning. Friday's arrived. Everybody that's off Saturday and Sunday, happy Friday. I'm not one of those people, but that's okay. That's okay. No complaints. Guys, Gypsy Rose. So I was watching my friend 1980 Millennial. You gotta love her, right? If you don't know who she is, check her out. I'm not sure she's a millennial, but because 1980, I don't know. There's some questions about that young lady. However, I'm going to comment on her video. Now, so 1980 was asking about Ivory Rose Grows Wild driving down the street. She was commenting on the third episode of the third season, the latest episode of Life After Lockup with Dipshit, Nitwit, Gypshit. Guys, so I saw that kind of, I don't know that I saw it in real time. Maybe I saw after what happened in real time with Ivory Rose. Okay, so Ivory Rose Grows Wild, the blonde girl, the woo-woo bestie, she said that Christy had challenged her, I thought, to drive down up the street, right? So she did, and then they put it in, I guess, the show to make it appear that Ivory Rose Grows Wild was stalking. And I don't think that that's what she was doing. She did drive down the street because I remember seeing a video of the house, but I only saw her drive down the street one time. You know, so I don't know. But she didn't stop in the video. And I think that there were people that actually drove by her job or something with her job. There's, unfortunately, all this drama, and some people like the drama. I'm not a fan of the drama. And I know that I'm involved in the drama. So it doesn't, still I'm not a fan of it. And I'm hoping that we're going to square this away. However, it was put in the show that Gypsy had a fear of somebody driving past her house. And I really think in 1980, I think it was there for the show. I think it was. Because I do remember Woo Woo Bestie saying that Christy had challenged her to drive up the street or something, and then that happened. So that would be something for the show planted there, because they're trying to make content creators appear bad. In the meantime, she has her group of content creators, I guess, that have her back. So there are people, how does she put out anything? Let's just say she put out that book with the barbecue sauce. It's going to be coffee cooler talk, right? It's going to be water cooler talk. It's going to be office talk. If anybody's read it, it's going to be, did you read that? It's going to be just like that show that I haven't seen, but something about being an Asian woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it, White Lotus or something like that? Guys, the point is that Gypsy's going to be talked about, but she wants to be talked about because things keep coming up that is weird, different, embarrassing, I would think, right? Truthfully, embarrassing. And it's going to be talked about. So if Gypsy didn't behave in that way, we wouldn't be talking about her at all, right? But that's the way she behaved. So therefore, that's what's going on here with her. Now, you'd think that with the FOIAs and the information that came out, Gypsy would kind of hide in the background a little bit. But no, that's when the exposure of the baby comes. So she used, in my opinion, the baby as a distraction. That's my opinion. I'm allowed to have it. And that's when we got to see the baby, because she was getting exposed in a different way. There had to be a distraction. That's the way that Gypsy works. It's the way she works. So if she did that with the baby, we're going to now start seeing the baby, obviously. She's going to be a mommy vlogger. She has nothing. She has nothing. What content is she creating? You know, if it help me get dressed that day, like pick my outfit. Being a makeup artist who's not, because Nina is. Gypsy is not. She doesn't even know how to plug a hairdryer in. Seriously. So she's got to do something for her future, or she can make some decent investments and kind of go away and live off of it, And I'd love to know, because that house, I totally believe that house is purchased. She was saying, remember the grandmother saying she felt the house was rented? It's not. Because remember, Gypsy had talked about how her child was going to grow up in that house. So you don't talk about that in that way when it's a rented house. And when it's a house that's bought and it's yours, yeah, you could see your child grow up in it. In a rental, I don't think that's what you say about that, right? The show was incredibly boring, like 1980 said. But there's so much that's left unsaid. There's stuff that's just not talked about. Ken, who, somebody he didn't want, according to him. He wasn't a fan of this paparazzi. He wasn't a fan of being in the media. It seems to be soaking up the media. He likes it. He likes it because if he didn't, he'd put his foot down and say, hey, let's not stream in the house. I don't want you to stream in the house. That's not it. He wouldn't be part of a show that invites us into their world. And that's the thing that they seem to keep forgetting. You have invited us into your world. So that's where I think the issue is. You can't invite people into your living room and then say, okay, you don't get to say anything. You just get to watch and look. Keep stump and watch and look. You don't get to do that. Because it's a reality TV show. You want people to be in the audience of things. You want to wave and act like you're living your best life. You only want the good stuff. The world isn't just filled with the good stuff, Gypsy. You should know that because you created some really, really bad stuff. So that's part of the world too. And even if you don't create it, there's other people creating bad shit. So there's bad stuff out there, unfortunately. You don't get to say who gets to talk about you and who doesn't get to talk about you. You don't get to say who gets to drive up your street. As long as they're not stopping and knocking on your door. It's a free street. They can drive up and down your street. As long as they're not causing any problems. You only want to be praised. And again, there is nothing to praise you about. There is only infamy. There's no celebrity. There's infamy. You unalived your mom. You couldn't leave your mom. Your mom was obese. She wasn't going to chase you. She wasn't going to chase you, Gypsy. You could have left. And if you felt the real need to unalive her, you could have done it less brutally. I mean, you could have actually just given her a shot of insulin or not. There were ways that didn't have to result in what happened here, but there's something that is just not right with you to commit such a crime and to want everybody to forget about it after. It's not the world. It's not the way the world works. Especially when you have done nothing to show a change. And I know that you know that. Show us the change. Tell me, where is the change? Guys, what do you think? This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you again for allowing me to be part of your day. Don't forget, be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. 1980 Millennial. Something about you. All right, guys.